Hey guys, it is Greg again. I wanted to go over Bitcoin on a long-term type of deal here with you guys because some people have some questions and they're going, "Hey Greg, you did you did the video on Luna and you say it's going to go up. Well, what if Bitcoin goes to 10,000?" Well, guess what, guys? Bitcoin isn't going to go to 10,000. I think that I'm going to probably maybe going to be able to show you some evidence why I don't think that it is. It's going to go to 10,000. I don't even think it's going to go to 20,000. My area, low end area, target areas for Bitcoin is going to be about 15, not 15, about 28,000 or something like that. Okay. All right, guys, here's Bitcoin on this structure, and we're going to look at this whole big picture on Bitcoin. So let me go back to the weekly here. Okay. On Bitcoin. So we're working with this structure right here, which people are calling a wave 4. Okay, so we're working with the wave 4. I'm going to prove to you that the probability of that being a wave 4 is pretty high. Okay, so here we are in our wave 4 on Bitcoin, and the wave 3 ended over there, came down into a 3-wave move over here, a 3-wave move up, and now it's doing a 3-wave move back down to the bottom. Now, in some instances, some people or if this is a wave 4, which is a higher probability, some people are thinking that Bitcoin is going to blast down to, say, $20,000 like that. The issue is with that I have is that now would be called an expanded flat. So what an expanded flat type move is where on the A leg, okay, goes like that, and then the B leg actually has to go at least 90% of the A leg, and sometimes even goes higher, and then the C leg zooms down like that, okay? This type of move is more common. This is a very common cryptocurrency move and other instruments to do this move. It's common. But in the second wave, this is not a common move in the fourth wave, okay? So if you go back to the price history of Bitcoin on its second wave move, you can see here down, up, dump, even though that's technically not expanded flat. And you can see that in second waves. Fourth waves typically do not do that. So the probability of Bitcoin doing an expanded flat type move right here in this area is the probability of that happening is very low. It's very low. Okay. So it'll come here, and then it's going to come down to these areas. It's just not going to make sense. So what you're going to have is you want to have some alternation with your moves with Bitcoin, okay? So if you have, say, this move, right? That move went deep. You see this move on the wave 1 went deep. You're not gonna have the same type of move. You're gonna have, in the wave 1 or wave 2 correction, you'll have this deeper move and not as long. In the wave 4, you're gonna have, it's gonna be less deep and more time. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what's going to happen with the wave 4. And where is the area that I'm looking for on the wave 4? I'll show you guys in just a second. Okay. In this area on Bitcoin is what I'm looking for on a wave 4 is Bitcoin is going to be coming down this 3-wave move, as I mentioned before, doing a WXY moves down here, WX, and down for a Y, or maybe it stops there and Bitcoin could traverse back up again for a little bit and then come back down, okay? And one of the reasons, if you see my red lines, this is the area that I want to see it in. Why do I have that area? Well, if you come on over here, here's the top of the peak of the wave 3 and the bottom of the wave 4 of the last run on Bitcoin. So that's why I have that areas. And then if you see, there's the bottom of wave 4, support here, support, support, support. And then I would not be surprised if it comes down the lowest end target of that area, 30,000, 29,000. You might even have a wick below that area. So that's the first area until I'm proven otherwise, I'm gonna see Bitcoin go down to. So now the next question is, well, Greg, how do you know that it's a wave 4? Let's go ahead and go over to this chart, take a look at it again on first the monthly. There's a couple things that you want to look at when you're looking at Bitcoin on the higher time frames, okay? So one of the things that you need to incorporate with Elliott waves is you have to use the RSI And if you see here on the highest peak on this RSI, went all the way up over 100, which is very common for cryptocurrencies. This likely is some type of wave 3. You can see a high peak there and a high peak there. So this is probably a 3 of a 3, making this the peak of the third wave. So that'd be the 5th of the third wave, just based on this RSI data. Now, there's some other information I've gone over before in Bitcoin where this possibly could be a different count because of this RSI data, but more than likely you're looking at something with Bitcoin where this is a 1, 2, that's a 3, 4, and you're 5. And if Bitcoin is in this fourth wave right here, I do expect, because of the third wave on Bitcoin on this coin right here, it did not extend. It did not extend. It hit the 1.618, which is a normal area for a third wave. So what does that mean? And Bitcoin has the potential to do a massive and parabolic wave 5 in the next run. And I also do believe this time too is just like the beginning back in November, not the beginning, back in the end of 2021, where everybody was bullish on Bitcoin, saying it's going 100,000, 120,000, and 140,000. I heard all kinds of weird numbers. Plan B was in that mix, and all kinds of other people and things like that. I think the same thing possibly is going to happen, and Bitcoin is going to rip out of here, because now it's just the opposite. Everybody's bearish. Everybody's talking about, hey, we're going into a recession. This is it. Bitcoin's done. It's going down to 10,000, 20,000, and that's going to end, and it's going to rip out of here probably at some point. What's the time frame? The initial time frame that I'm looking at right now is going to be July to August timeframe, and then if it keeps going, I'm just going to keep pushing it back a little bit. But I am looking out for that type of move actively right now at this point, because I want to be ready for it. So the issue I'm going to show you that this is a likelihood that type of move on Bitcoin is, you take a look at the RSI, is that you have another immense peak on the RSI right here again at 94. Okay, so I'm going to go out to the weekly now, guys, to show you something on the RSI with Bitcoin. It's very, very important. So wave 1, 2, and then you see this peak again on the RSI. That's 94, almost 95. That is typical of a third wave move. You're not going to see any other type of move be able to push the RSI that high with some sort of corrective move up. The probability of that is very, very low. Okay. So what's the worst case? So you can go here and you start making your count. Your 1, 2, see on the RSI, that's the 3 of the 3, and went up to complete its third wave. So 5th of the third, and then the 4th over here, and up for its 5th wave move. Okay. So what's the bearish count? What's the other count it could be? Well, then you'd have to go with a 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was 5. And then this whole thing like this, you're going to take it, this whole leg will be now a wave 1, and it'll come down for 2. That's your alternate count. This is a wave 2 to be able to bring Bitcoin down to those $20,000 areas, which in the end is going to be better, because now it's going to be going into wave 3, and that wave will be parabolic. That's almost a guarantee. So why do I think that it's not not this move, and this is more likelihood a wave 4, and it's going to probably go into a massive 5th wave move to the upside, reaching targets probably somewhere right now between 100 and 140,000. And actually, if you look at the past history of what Bitcoin's done with 5th wave moves, when the third wave is not extended, is Bitcoin has a tendency to make massive moves to the upside on a 5th wave move. So what are the odds that this whole thing was a 5? Well, one of the reasons why I don't like that is because in Bitcoin's past price history, it doesn't have a history of doing truncated fists. This would be a very odd move where you would take this whole thing and make that a 1 and then bring it down for a 2. Even though that is a possibility, the probability of that happening is low. The likelihood of it happening where Bitcoin is going to make a move like this and in the wave 4 and then go up on a wave 5 is much higher. And then if you take a look at the RSI data with that move based on the RSI, you'll see here that that's likely a third wave coming in for a 4th, and then this 5th wave move right here okay, just went so low on the divergence of the move. Typically, you're not going to see that much divergence on the weekly from a third to a fifth. Okay, so it's more likely a fourth wave making its correction in there. Now, the other thing I want to bring to people's attention on the go back out to the monthly on Bitcoin is looking at this structure with Bitcoin. One of the things that it has not done is if you see the peak here on the RSI, that's a very high peak on the monthly, and there has been no other peak taking that out on Bitcoin. So there is a probability that this is on its cycle. So let's say this is a 1, 2, that was a 3, 4, and this is a 5, okay? And then you have a cycle degree, which would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this would be a cycle. So you change it like this into a cycle, into its cycle degree like that. And it came down for 2 and up for 3 and down for 4 or 5. It's high because of the RSI data on here. So Bitcoin has put in a third wave on the monthly, but we haven't had another. It's good. Bitcoin is going to come around and be taking this out at some point, and it's going to be the third wave, the cycle third wave. That's what is going to happen. The probability of that happening is very high. Okay, what time frame and area that gets to, I don't know. I have no idea. And if you check it out on the weekly too, you can see the same thing on the RSI data. You have peaks here, this third wave peak, and you see how it came up. That's a third of a fifth. You see how the RSI still had a really nice peak. That's a third wave though. Okay, over here with Bitcoin, you're taking a look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That typically is not going to be a type of move. This is more of a corrective move to continue on to somewhere higher price points once this is finished. Okay, guys. So I wanted to show you that, and then also too, just based on the other previous data, the reason that I think that I'm going to go ahead and take that off for the time being, that I think that this is the highest probability of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now until proven otherwise, is because if you go through the other data and the information that you have. So let me show you just a couple examples of, say, like, okay, Luna. I just recently did a move on Luna, and Luna here on the, let me go to the daily on Luna. Luna should be coming in for a correction at some point in this area, bottom of the box, or maybe even a little bit lower. And you're looking at near protocol, which are strong coins. I'm expecting near protocol to do a little bit more of a drop down to this area. So it's got about 50% more to go. It's just right about $10 right now, and come down a little bit more, bring it down in this area to finish up a correction. You have the same thing with other coins where they need to come down a little bit more and finish up a correction. And the reason I'm bringing these coins up, also with DOT, it's coming down and finishing up a correction. The reason I'm bringing these other altcoins up is that the information, the data that I have is that they're finishing up corrections, and they're all going to a parabolic, massive third wave move. And if Bitcoin is going to be going down, down, down into what people are predicting, 10,000 and 18,000 and 16,000, well, you know, then you can expect DOT to be at $1, maybe $2 or something like that. You can expect Kusama to be at 20. You can expect Near Protocol to be at 50 cents. You can expect Phantom to be at 15 cents again. You can expect Luna to go back down to $25. So it just doesn't make sense to me that all those coins are coming up to a correction, which looks like it's going to be ending in the next 60, 90, maybe 120 days. And also, if you take a look at the overall data that I have put together with the DXY here on the daily, it's coming up to possibly finish up a third wave move, and that's going to go into a fourth wave and then a fifth. And if you take a look at the DXY, it will be doing an ABC correction. If you look at the previous history of the DXY and in its third wave move over here, and here's an ABC, and you can see that this move went from December 2016 all the way to this January of 2021. So a 4-year ABC correction. And also, if you take a look at the other coin. I have USDC coin, which I went over briefly. USDC coin now too on the daily is going up, making a fifth wave move and probably coming up to complete something also in my time frame of 60 to another 90 days and done. And it'll be doing some type of move more than likely once it's finished up here like this. Putting all the other data together, that's why I'm coming up that SPX is the same way, looking for data for it to come finish up its correction for a move, something similar along the lines like that. All right, guys, thanks for watching my video. Peace.